I can't believe I decided to film this. It was a poor choice. I needed to be careful on these stairs, and instead I'm filming. Anyway, I'm taking a ton of Nutella and honey and bread and tea downstairs because I'm not going to come back up these stairs for a while except to get this camera. And I think it's time we had some real talk. So, just a second. Let me just tell you that there is no time in my life that I have been more prepared for a floor talk video, because standing up is not my game right now. Oh, and if you haven't seen the last video where I'm at a hospital, you should go watch that. That'll make all this make a lot more sense. There's a link right below my tea, just in the description, so go. As nice as it would be to film on this background. Also, while I walk to the light switch, I think a lot about the fact that, like, when I say things like in the description, like, what if these videos outlast the format that I have made them in? That seems unlikely, like, outlast YouTube, but that'd be interesting. I wonder if there will always be descriptions for these videos. I hope so. They don't add a ton, but they're helpful, and links are important, so. Anyway, found the light switch. That was super cool. I just dropped the phone and I didn't even record it. Ugh. Sprained ankle. Tired Steve. So, floor talk time with the light that looks okay. My glasses are always too high in floor talk videos, so I pay attention to that more than I should. Sorry if you don't like the background music. I'm doing me for this moment. Let's talk about... I think it's weird that I'm fine making videos about the fact that I just sprained my ankle, but I am not gonna tell anyone. So, like, the people who find out will find out a week from now, and it won't really matter anymore. I'll be better from it, and I think that's part of the reason, but I also just don't want the people that I've been hanging out with and playing Pokemon Go and, like, doing exciting things, and I had plans tonight, like, that none of them need to know, so... For the rest of the world, I saw a movie with parents. That's why I didn't text anyone back for 2 hours. I was going to go to a movie, to be fair. And then I'm just going to call it a night because I got 4 hours of sleep last night. All of those things are true. But yeah, I don't like the fact that I tell little white lies like that. And part of my reading list for October, I don't know if I've mentioned this, but I'm reading the month of October. My plan is to just read. I don't remember if I've mentioned that in the 1,000 videos, but I've told a few people and I've posted it on Facebook. The month of October, I just have this huge reading list, and I'm going to dedicate it to reading and not feeling like I should do anything else, which is awesome. Anyway, on that list there are 3 books that I'm going to reread. One is The Road Less Traveled, because I recommend it all the time. It is my most recommended book, and it's incredible. One is How to Win Friends and Influence People, because I'm really paranoid after VidCon and TED that I've forgotten a lot of what I learned in that book, because I feel like I annoyed some people, and that's probably me just being paranoid, but... I just want to be sure. And then 3 is Lying by Sam Harris. And that brings me back to my point about I'm uncomfortable telling white lies like that. The book Lying by Sam Harris is like 90 pages long. It takes maybe a couple hours to read. And it is easily one of the best books I've ever read. I don't talk about it a lot, though, because I don't think it never comes to mind. You know, it's not one of those books that's like, oh, you need this. Because no one's going to call anybody out for white lies. Like, white lies are how the world works. However, the book really goes into depth about how worthwhile it might be not to white lie and just to tell the straight truth, because it opens up an opportunity to be vulnerable with people and to let other people care about you and to be real and not have a facade. And that's cool. I feel like a lot of people feel like they're imposing on other people when they do that, and I know that's not the case. So I need a refresher in that mindset to get back to where I was a couple of years ago. Those are just the 3 books that, like, I feel like are maintenance books in terms of, like, they make you a better human being. It's just easier to be a human being if you read those books regularly. There are other ones, but those are the 3 that are on my mind right now. So I'm going to read those in October. That's basically what I wanted to floor talk about. I'm just concerned about not being forthright, I suppose. But I'm also... I don't know. I think it's cool to document sort of thoughts and feelings around such an unfortunate and unplanned situation. To give you the full story, what happened is that I was meeting my parents at the movie theater, mom's birthday, we were going to go see the Secret Life of Pets Pixar movie, and I was in a hurry, which I should never be in a hurry. I wrote a really great essay in high school about how being in a hurry is a waste of time, which I think is funny and comes to mind all the time in situations like this because it's super ironic. Anyway, I was heeling in a hurry like an idiot through the parking lot and decided to jump up on the curb and keep heeling, which has worked several times the last couple days that I've done it. But I just put too much pressure one direction on my foot and it rolled instead of propelling me over the curb, and I fell over and just held my foot in pain for a couple seconds, literally right behind my parents. And they turned around and they were like, "Ooh, what just happened? That sounded violent." And it was their son on the floor, and they called hospitals and drove me to... It was a time, but I have such great parents. It was also super weird being in the hospital with your parents at 24. But I'm super thankful that that is the thing that happened, because I would rather be at the hospital with them than almost anybody, and I think probably everyone in the world feels that way. And I know that the number of times I will end up at the hospital with them for things that have to do with me, that's probably the last one. All things like if they go as normal life goes. Yeah, so that's interesting. Those are my thoughts. Shit happens, man. It's not great, but it's also not too much worth fretting over. It was kind of fun and different and like memorable, and like obviously it sucks and it's not the best situation and it isn't how any of us wanted to spend our evening. But I have super gracious parents and they were really cool about it, and we just hung out and talked and made jokes and it was fun. And I cannot be thankful enough for having people like that in my life. So that's worth documenting. I just called them to say thank you too, because like that's extraordinary. They didn't, like, we've been griping at each other all day, like low-key, like family griping, like that's how families, you know the griping, you do that with your families. And then the moment I got hurt, all that just like went away, and we all just like chilled out and like did the hospital thing and had a lot of fun just talking about other stuff. And it's kind of a nice reminder and unifying moment. Not a great way to do that. There are other ways I could have done that other than hurting myself, and that was not intentional. But it also reminds me of the importance of creating moments like that in your life, even if moments like this don't happen, which they shouldn't. Moments where you just like realize that, wow, life is short and shit happens and things go bad, and we really ought to appreciate the people in our lives who are there for us when they don't need to be and it sucks to be, because that is an extraordinary example of being a human. So, one more time, thank you, parents. It means so much to me that you guys just never was there like a, we're gonna go get coffee, or you have fun getting x-rays. They were just totally there for it. It was really, really, I don't know, it probably didn't feel like a big thing, but it was a big thing for me. So, big thoughts when I'm worrying about moving to other cities and going on projects in other states in 2 days and stuff like that. It's just so cool to have family there. Being human is a weird and mushy experience. Thank you for listening to me talk about it. I make 3 videos a day. I made 4 today. It was eventful, what can I say? Thank you for watching and spending time with me. I appreciate you wanting to pay attention and listen to things. You are super cool. I hope you're having a better day than I am. See you in the next one. Why? Why did I need to film this? Why? Ugh. A couple other things I forgot to mention. One, Heelys. I'm probably not going to stop heeling as a result of this. I don't do skydiving, mountain climbing. I don't risk my life or limb in any way whatsoever. Like, I'm hesitant about bicycling because I know that, like, up here, the mental work I do and the emails I send are going to make more of a difference in the world than any, like, raw human experience I can have. And so I'm not really super into the, like, experiences. However, I am so into, I don't know, I think Heelys should be a thing. So I'm just not going to stop because that's one of my favorite parts of life. And you got to have a vice, and that's a weird-ass vice to have, and I realize that. But yeah, I mean, you know, you learn your limits, you get better, you got to get injured to become pro, and I'm going to be a pro heelier. Oh, and then also what I actually wanted to make a floor talk video about, which we didn't do, but isn't really that interesting anyway, is that it's crazy to me that like I actually needed this to happen to get stuff done. And maybe this will be something I should make a video about later when I actually get stuff done. But like I was doing so much stuff with friends and family and setting up the condo and Airbnb and like so much stuff that I was putting off what really matters without acknowledging that I was putting off what really matters, and I hate that I do that. I made a video about it a long time ago called Real Talk About Business Building. You should look it up. It's one of my favorite videos in this entire series. This is just one of those moments where like I know that I will get this important stuff done, but right now I haven't, and I need to just be honest with myself that I'm not doing it. I sprained my ankle, so now I have no choice. I will be literally in this basement for an extended period of time until I leave Colorado. So I'm gonna organize my hard drive because I'm making a copy of the Drobo. I'm gonna put all of my follow-up documents, business cards, etc., Evernote things, into one huge list of people I need to email before October. And if I don't email every single one of them several times, I am not going to do the October reading thing. And I really want to do the October reading thing. Like, I've had this idea of like, oh my god, it'd be so cool to dedicate an entire year of my life to just reading. But I know that'll never happen. It'll never be realistic, and I'll keep putting it off. So I've taken 1 month, and I'm going to see if it works. And if it works, maybe we'll do 2 months next time. Maybe we'll do 2 weeks next time. But I'm making like reading sabbaticals a part of my life now when I'm 22, because 60-year-old me will be like, holy shit, I should have spent a month of my life every year reading, or some other amount of time. So we're gonna figure out what that is and make it happen. You just gotta start. There's never a good time. Like October, cool things are gonna happen in October, and it's gonna suck because I'm gonna miss them. But cool things happen in all the other months too. So what you gonna do? You gotta miss out on some stuff to get other stuff. There was a great quote that I'll end on that I heard today that said, if you want extraordinary experiences, you have to be willing to put up with, it's a terrible paraphrase, if you're not willing to do what other people won't, you have to be willing to settle for ordinary, or something like that. I don't know, man. It was a Tony Robbins video on YouTube. Why was I even watching that? I don't remember. Anyway, thanks for watching. Congratulations on being on that part of YouTube. Have fun. Watch the related videos. Maybe Tony Robbins will show up over there. I'll see you later. Thanks again for listening. I just can't believe you listen to these videos. It's so cool. I love that. It's great.